Kev, how come my child, when they come home, they just go straight to their room? They don't really talk to me.
I think the ultimate goal is to be a safe enough zone for her to come to us.
Do not make it like,
Oh, you should have done this.
Oh, why did you do that?
because if they tell you something and all they're getting is trouble, then why would they ever tell you anything again? You don't necessarily have to know every single thing that's going on with your child. When our daughter grow up, how much would you micromanage her?
I would not know, honestly. I can't tell just yet because right now that she's 4.5 years old, I micromanage her like crazy because she's 4. This can become something of a habit in the future without me realizing it. For example, I manage every food that she eats, activities that she partaking, schools she go to, friends she's being friends with, and all that. I know for the fact that this is justified because she's 4. But what I'm afraid of is that if I keep doing this when she's 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, so on and so forth, it just become a habit that this is a thing I do. I think I wouldn't know, and I have a tendency to be like that. And I think I am going to need your help to remind me that I'm stepping over the line.
When she becomes a teenager, I'm not going to micromanage her at all. She can make her own life decisions. She can do whatever it is that she wants. I will, however, manipulate it from behind. I will control the environment that she goes to. If I feel like she's making bad friends, I'll move. When I feel like she, the friends that she's hanging around with in school is not good, I'll probably move another school. Right? So that change that environment until she's able to find the right group. Because I feel like when a kid becomes a teenager, their identity is no longer tagged to their parents, but it's more so tagged towards their friends. And so there's nothing much parents can do about it. Kids, they would like to date, they would like to go out with their friends and all that. And so the people that they meet, you can't really control that. Neither can you stop them from doing so. But you can change their environment, which is what I will do. Right? I will slowly, I will guide her here and there, but I don't think it's wise to just say no, you can't do this. No, you can't do that. I don't think it'll work. I think that the more that we say that to her, the more she's going to want to do it because it's a forbidden fruit, It's why can't I do it? Blah, 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 blah. But if you somehow manipulate the environment, then I think that's very helpful. As a teacher, I see this a lot. The group of friends that you hang around with will dictate who you are in your teenage years. And so oftentimes those that's academically sound will all hang together. All those that loves to play sport will hang together and so on and so forth because there's a common trait that they have. And so I think finding the right group of friends and finding the right schools is it's super essential. That's up to the parents to decide which school and which group of friends that your child should hang around with. The rest, they're still allowed autonomy to do whatever it is that they want. I think it's pretty good. It's like a guided path to self-identity.
I think the ultimate goal is to be a safe enough zone for her to come to us with troubles, little things, let us know about her life. So we are aware of what kind of stage of life she's in.
That's actually another interesting thing. So there are parents that comes to me, go, Kev, how come my child, when they come home, they just go straight to their room. They don't really talk to me. And so parents, they naturally feel insecure because they feel like their child is leaving them. They feel like there's nothing to talk about. When they come back home, they just go straight to the room. And it just feels like there's not much communication going on in a family. And having once been loved by your child so much, kind of lose that connection. And so parents, they feel insecure about it. Whereas in reality, I've asked multiple kids about this. It's why do you just go straight to your room when you go back home? And then the answer is always the same. The answer is because there's nothing to talk about. It's because, number one, the child is not going to tell you the friendship problems that they have with certain friends the same way you're not going to tell your child the workplace problems that you have towards your child as well. You're not going to be oh, this person in my workplace was so bad, blah, 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 because you're in two different worlds. And so there's nothing that you can relate to each other. And secondly, I think this is the more important thing, is that anything that the child say can potentially turn into a life lesson. Oh, you should have done this, you should have done that, and all that. And so kids, they're just naturally repelled to tell their parents what's what. Like, why would I want to tell you this? Because maybe I don't need your help. Or maybe if I do tell you, it's an ongoing thing that you're going to start asking me on a daily basis. And I just don't want that. I want my own time. And so they have not much incentive to come back and just like, hey, dad, hey, mom, here's my day in school. They don't want to tell them that. They just want to go straight to their room where they can do their own daily activity. And so I think what parents should do is, instead of feeling insecure, is to try to build that bridge and just be like, you don't necessarily have to know every single thing that's going on with your child. You should give them their space, but make it so that they are super comfortable coming to you should things go really wrong. And I've seen those type of families, and it works out great. Like, I've seen daughters go to their dad, like, oh yeah, this is what's happening, so on and so forth. I've seen sons, I've seen all their kids. I've seen like my students go to their parents in time of need. And normally those are the more well-sounded family where there's not much barrier between. So I feel like a lot of times what happens is parents, they feel like they lose their connection, and then they just stop bothering to try anymore because they feel like, what's the point? If I ask, you're not going to tell me anyways. Whereas what they really should be doing is just like develop a personality and develop a family culture where children, they feel safe to approach their parents in the end. Meaning, if they do come to you, do not make it a life lesson. Do not make it like oh, you should have done this. Oh, why did you do that? Because if they tell you something and all they're getting is trouble, then why would they ever tell you anything again? Right? Yeah. And so I think that's probably the better way to do it. But do your teenagers love you? Yeah, of course. They love you a lot. I've seen it. I've seen case scenarios where, and this is especially true with daughters and moms for some reason. I don't know why, but like they fight. And so I think certain statements, anyone else in the world could have said the same statement and it wouldn't have been a big deal. But if the mom just said it to the daughter gets so mad, right? The daughter goes, wow, why is it like that, mom? And so they fight. I've had mothers of teenagers come to me and just be like, I don't know how to deal with this. It's crazy. Like everything I say, my daughter just like reacts. And my answer is always the same. My answer is, well, it's because they care about you the most. It's because your words mean a lot. They don't give a crap about what other people say. And so, yes, number one, be careful with your words. But number two, know that it's coming from a place of love. If they don't care about you, they're not going to be that mad. Yeah.